Okay, so for today's question, um, this one is the merge intervals, which is also a medium question for LeetCode number 56. And this one is basically just arrays and sorting and how you get to use those. Basically, this question just tests your basic coding skills. So yeah, this one should also be pretty straightforward. And here's the TLDR walkthrough. So basically, I'm gonna explain with this sample example 1 of how to solve this question. Basically, you are given an array of intervals where each pair of intervals indicate the pair of the length, and then if there is any overlapping part within the pairs, you basically get to merge them. So basically, as you can see here, we are given with this list of arrays. If you go here, you can draw this to visually make it easier. So there's 1, 2, 3. Let's say this is 1, 2, 3, and then there's the second pair. The second pair goes from 2 to 6. Let's say it's gonna be something like that. 2 to 6. And after that, we got 8 to 10. This is something like this. This is gonna be 8 to 10. 8. It's ugly as 8. But yeah, here you go. We got 8 to 10. And lastly, we have the last pair of 15 to 18, which takes about 3 elements. So if you're given this, as you can see visually, it's really easy and straightforward. You basically detect the overlapping parts of between all pairs. So this one actually overlap, and these two do not. They are two independent intervals. So you would return basically 1 to 6 and 8 to 10 and 15 to 18 separately. So we have a total of 3 intervals as our answer. And as you can see here, it is correct. So basically, how you would want to approach this question is basically you first want to sort the intervals array based on the first index of each pair, and then you're gonna add the very first one to the answer list first, and from there we're gonna start by looping through from the first index up until the very end, and every time as you go through the index comparing process, you would compare the current pair's 0th index, which is the starting point, with the last one's ending point. And if the last one's ending point happens to be equal or larger than the current, the 0th index of the current one, we would basically have to update the first part of the last index with the math max between this one and this one, so that you can get to update the very first pair values, its first index with the current one, as you can see. So that if not, as we move on to the next pair, if it's not, that if statement is not triggered, you would basically add the currently testing one to the answer list, so that it would become 1 6 instead of 1 3. And then in the end, you're just simply gonna return the list value containing all these outputs. So yeah, let's start coding. As I've said, you're gonna have to have the int list, new array list, which would be returned as you using the list to array, because to satisfy this formatting, it's gonna be containing this size like that. And then before that, we are gonna have to array sort intervals with a b integer compare a 0th and b 0th of these two indexes. And then you're gonna add the very first pair of the intervals, and after that you're gonna loop through from the first index up until the last value of the integers. And from there, as I've said earlier, we're gonna have two values, current and past. So current is gonna be obviously integer, the ith index of the integers, and then the past one would be the the recently added one of within the list, which in this case would be list get list dot size minus one, which would be the one on the very right side. And here we are just basically simply just gonna compare with the current zeroth value if this happens to be equal to or less than equal to the past, the ending point of the past. This way we are simply just gonna update the past value using mathemax with past one, and then current one. Is for example, if we have this 2, we are basically comparing, because 2 is smaller than 3. We are so the past's first index would now become 6, resulting in 1 to 6. The pair of 1 to 6. Does that make sense? Because it was pretty straightforward. And then if not, we're simply just gonna add that value to the answer list, which would be current, because this would not trigger this if statement, so that we would just simply add it to the list array. So yeah, that was literally it. Runs pretty fast with the linear time, as you can. Oh, never mind, we are sorting it, that's why it's going to be n log of n. But in case if you don't do this, I wonder if this would trigger the edge cases. Yeah, it does. So yeah, it is still needed because of this. Cases like the where the intervals are not sorted automatically. So other than that, it was pretty straightforward, with just one for loop and array sorting. And yeah, that was that, and thanks for watching.